Hey everybody, it's Kevin from 3D Printed Props. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Ortur's new laser, the R2. So I've been using lasers more and more in the shop. I find they're a really great complement to a lot of the projects I'm working on, whether I'm doing lenses for the Ghostbusters build, you'll see videos for that, or projects that need lenses or anything clear, or any sort of pieces like foam. I'm working on a foam project, you'll see videos for it at some point, where I'm cutting foam with it, and just super easy and super clean every single time. So I really liked integrating lasers now into my process. And what I like about the Ortur R2 is, one of the main things is its form factor. I don't have a crazy amount of room in my shop, so I find that for the space that I get, which is 11.81 inches by 8.26 inches, space-wise to do cutting on, it doesn't take up a ton of room in my shop, and that I really like, because if you've got a tight workspace like I do, real estate is a premium. So I like that I can cut almost anything I need with this, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So let's look at some of the other features. Now, I already talked about its build space, which is 11.81 by 8.26 inches. So again, really good size. We've got a laser spot of 0.01 millimeter. Of course, we've got this class 1 plexi over the top, so you can be working without glasses around it. It also, of course, helps with fume mitigation, keeping all the smells in. It has a fan and exhaust in the back that you can run the hose outside with. Unfortunately, all of my testing now is done outside of lasers. My wife said, no more lasers now. No matter how I try to mitigate any laser's smell, whether I try to vent it out the window or use a fume extractor, some things get out. She's very sensitive for smells, so everything gets tested outside. I did notice out there, though, that I wasn't getting using a fan to take it out of the garage. Inside the garage, it wasn't filling up with smoke or anything. The fan is very powerful, and the inside containment area was pretty clear of smoke. It was, I didn't even see any smoke in there. Once I turned the fan off, I took that off, I noticed it get really filled up with smoke back there. So inside the unit. So it does do its job. Now, the other thing we have is a camera that's mounted right up here, and it comes with a 20-watt laser, and it also comes with a 1.3-watt laser. So let's say you're going to be doing some engraving or some really fine sort of like photos, and you're going to be doing that sort of dithering. You probably want to use the lower watt laser, the 1.3, so it doesn't overpower and just make the art not look all that great. When you want to be doing some cutting or some more robust engraving, that's when you're going to want to use the 20. Some of the other features we have are fire detection, which is, of course, very, very important. We've got a emergency off switch here. So you hit that, whole thing shuts off, turn it, comes back on. We've got a on-off or a master power key in the back here. I usually leave that right there so I don't lose it. And of course, it comes with air assist, and that is something you totally need, especially with a larger watt laser like a 20. It blows air through the nozzle to sort of just get rid of any type of fires or any type of tiny flames in there that will cause scorching around your line art and not make it very sharp. So the air assist is very important. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things I did with this. I've got a few more projects I'm working on that I'll show off in a future video once I get used to this more. But I want to show you some of these things that I did that were really fun and I enjoyed putting together. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about the pros and cons of the machine. Not a ton of cons. I'll let you in on a little spoiler alert. Okay, so here is I've always wanted to do one of these little Aztec Spider-Man things, and this is sort of like a test version. I'd want to do something a little bit bigger. deeper into a better wood, but I really like that design, how it came out, and you can see it really got deep in there. I did practice on a piece of wood that I was going to use, and this is awesome, but I made a mistake and I went too large, tried to make it too large, and I didn't frame it like I should have, so light burn didn't do its test, and I didn't realize it was going to be coming up short. But this is the type of wood, maybe like an oak, I'd like to do it on in the future, and then, you know, cut it out as well, just because it looks so great, and it's such a deep carve into this with that 20-watt laser, and the lines are so sharp. I really can't wait to do a much better version of this where I actually pay attention to my boundaries. Now, I also printed this. Again, this is kind of like a test thing. I do things smaller a lot of times just to sort of gauge to see if it's going to work or if I like it. And this is sort of from Engraver. So I found some graphics, this graphic on Etsy, did the text myself in Illustrator, and it's two pieces. So one piece is in the back, I painted it orange, and then this piece has just been lasered out. And you can see just how deep that etching goes, that engraving goes, and then the cuts in it. Really, really happy with this. Again, I'm gonna try to do one a little bit bigger and of course cleaner and fiddle with the settings. These are some of my initial settings, and I think I can get it looking much sharper and much cleaner. But even that, I kind of really love how it looks, because it looks like it's got that burned in, you know, rebel, grungy kind of feel. I might paint this part of it a certain color and maybe dirty it up with smudges and stuff and make it look really sort of weathered. But I really, really like how that turned out. The whole process with using the machine has been really great. I used light burn, it found it instantly. Everything worked fine. I used my, I calibrated the camera, all that stuff. That will be in the unboxing and setup at the end of the video. So if you are watching through, you can hang out and watch that. But overall, just a really, really simple laser to use, and a laser that it's going to fit your shop. It's probably going to fit what you need to do. You don't need something that's got crazy autofocus that costs like $1,600 or $2,000 if you're using it once in a while. And that's when I use a laser. I'm using it a lot more, actually, but still not enough that this doesn't do everything I need it to do. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons. Now, pro-wise, I think I've gone over all those. I like the form factor. I like the build size for the size of the unit itself. I like the class 1 plastic. The camera is working out really great for me, and the air assist. You need air assist with something like this. Now, cons, and they're pretty simple cons. One, the air assist, once you plug it in, it's just on. And you're always hearing that sort of fish tank noise of like a blower. I'd like it to have an on-off switch or something so that it isn't just constantly running, because it gets kind of annoying to have to unplug it and plug it if you don't want to listen to it. I don't need it to be synced with the machine, so that the machine goes on when the machine starts working, which would cost more. But have an on and off switch on so I can turn it on or off. I understand why they probably don't. This way you don't forget to turn it on, but you can forget to plug it in, which I did a number of times, because I would unplug it because I didn't want to hear it. Now, the second thing, which is the biggest thing to me that I find very annoying, are these sort of rectangular rods that hold up the print. They move around, they shuffle, they sort of rattle in there. When I'm trying to lay something down on there, they're getting pushed around. And I've had I had a couple prints actually, because I was going at like really fast, 100, and zipping things around, that it sort of just vibrated and moved and shifted. So a honeycomb with this, I think, would be much better, to receive a honeycomb. If you're picking this up, because for the price you can't really beat that, you can pick up a honeycomb for it. I would definitely encourage that. So if you're looking for an inexpensive but feature-filled and really powerful laser to use for different projects, maybe to complement your 3D work, or if you're just wanting to fool around with lasers and do some cutting and create some really cool things, then I definitely think the Ortur Laser R2 would definitely be one you might want to check out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, so let's get going with the unboxing and assembly part of the video. Okay, so let's unbox this. And it was heavier than I expected when I first got this in. So I'm curious to see the unit itself. Of course, if you watch the first part of this video, I have already talked about all this, but, oh, I see, it's a box within a box. So we've got the Ortur has its own box in here. So I'm gonna get it out of here and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's slid out of there really, really easy. Again, this is the Ortur R2 fully enclosed laser engraver and cutter, and the box is pretty sharp. I like that. So let's just go ahead and see what we've got when we first open it up. Now, when I actually first opened the box, some wood slid out, some just simple sort of wood blanks for cutting and testing. So we'll of course hang out of those and keep them. And then the first thing up is we've got a warning. It looks like it's a sticker, so I guess you could put this on the laser to remind you to use the air assist, so that's good. We'll put that aside. And it looks like it's really well packed in here. We've got some styrofoam, and then the laser itself. So I think I might be able to lift it right out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the table. That's where these tables, I tell you, I will never not have a standing table or a standing desk again, especially in the studio. And this is from Flexi Spot. I got this a while back. And I'm ripping the box trying to get it out, but that's okay. Okay, so it's packed very well. We've got some 2 big pieces of styrofoam. And I really like when companies do this. You got these really sort of hard cardboard corners, and it looks like it's all the way around. It's all the way around the top and the sides. I really like that because usually when a thing takes a bang on the sides, you really can do some damage, but this stuff is going to take care of that, which is really nice. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, of course, is just take off this plastic. Open her up. Now our first pocket here holds, what do we got here? We've got, oh, it's interesting. We've got sort of like some spec sheets on cutting times and cutting powers and what it can do. We've got the instructions. Let's take a look at that really quick photos wise. Ah, good. Decent size text size and images, so that's really nice. And this, which I'm assuming is some type of calibration. So we'll hang on to this stuff over here. Now in this pocket we have a set of goggles. It's nice to give those. This is fully enclosed, so we don't technically need to be wearing them when the lid is down. So, but it's nice to have a pair. Various cables, a nice little screwdriver, some little different pieces, parts that we'll get into as we go. Just more cables, power cable, USB, some other cables, a couple screws, and of course our power brick. And what do we have here? And then some other materials, little pieces of plexi to test or to play with, and some zip ties. All right, let's go ahead and take this piece of plastic out and see what we have. Another piece of plastic. So we have our hose for exhaust, which is nice. Give us that. We've got our slats, so our little V-slats. So this uses that as their system. We have our actual laser. And we have our air assist and the tubing for it. Last piece of foam, maybe, we'll see. And there we go. We've got a few little bits and pieces we're gonna take apart in here, some foam. One looks like I need to take, oh, there it goes. So we got a piece of foam in the back. We've got a piece of foam on the side. And then we have something in the back here. It's a piece of wood that was just sort of frictioning the laser head. So this is the larger laser head, the more powerful one, and then the secondary one is the less powerful one, mostly used for engraving. We still have a couple zip ties here, so let's take care of those. And we're ready to start doing what assembly we have to do. Okay, so not a lot we've got to do with this. We put the one end of our air assist tube into the printer, and then we've got our air assist right here and a coupler. We got a thicker end and a thinner end. I guess you can probably guess which end goes in where. And once we have all this stuff hooked in, it snaps into place and our air assist is done. Really simple setup. Next thing we're going to do is add the vent tubing to the back, and of course you want to vent your unit somewhere, outside or into a fume extraction unit. And then we've got the back, which is our on-off switch. We've got something for an auxiliary tool, some resets, power, the camera, the USB, and if you've got a TF card, and you are ready to go. We even got a little tilt screen, which I really, really liked, and that is the unit ready to go. So if you're looking for an inexpensive but feature-filled and really powerful laser to use for different projects, maybe to complement your 3D work, or if you're just wanting to fool around with lasers and do some cutting and create some really cool things, then I definitely think the Ortur Laser R2 would definitely be one you might want to check out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.